My Belle Fleurs, hello! Gwen is my name and it's a part of my witch game. Welcome. And if you're new, hi, I'm Gwen, La Belle Fleur Guinevere. Very nice to meet you. Let's be friends. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and share this video. I would just like to meet everybody. That's just how I am. Sorry for not having a witchy update last week, guys. There's been a lot of stuff going on, personal, but that's okay. Fear not. And have no fear because Guinevere is here. So, I'm doing a witchy update this week. Got my coffee. We're just sitting in my kitchen, just having a chit chat. And just get comfortable. Not going to try to make this video too long. But I just kind of wanted to let you know where everything in my mind is going. Yeah, so let's get started. I started Witchy Update, and it's really just kind of talking about things personal, following, you know, as far as growing on YouTube, Instagram, and all those things. And I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because that's really not the importance of it. It's really about, the more that I sat down and I thought about this, it's really just me going on my journey, sharing it with you. I know it's crazy time, said it before in other videos, but again, I am a witch, like to meet other witches. I am a beginner witch or baby witch, and I want to meet other people, and maybe somewhere down the line of what I've learned, because I'm 34 years old. I am in a recovery program, and sorry guys, there's a gnat in my kitchen. So I'm trying to not sit here after I watched a video with some really popular witch YouTubers. I really just want to be real with y'all, and I have been, but I think I don't want to take away from the content of what it really should be. So yeah. So anyway, I won't really be covering the thirsty men on YouTube, maybe once in a while, because it is funny. But I haven't gotten that much anymore of it after I did a disclaimer post. Kelly Stamps, tried to reach out to her. She might have a restraining order on me as we speak. Doubt it. Again, still in Texas. Try and be nice. I get it. It's a crazy time. You don't know what's happening, and you got to protect yourself. So completely understand. Kelly, I'm just sharing the love with you, honey. I'm with you. I really don't understand, but I am trying to, and I am going to listen. And that is where I stand. And yes, no justice, no peace. Those are my people too. So, moving on from that, really, this is going to be more of a witchy update. I mean, if you start giggling and laughing, it's because of me and my dorkiness, quirkiness here. I figured what I'll talk about today is books that I've been reading, talking about a witchy name, because that has come up a lot lately. And the video that I saw with some popular witches of YouTube, there is Nike. I can't remember her tag name, but again, she is very popular. She had three other ladies where they had like a hot talks kind of topic and talking about mentors, baby witches, and beginner witches, and things like that. So I found that talk interesting, so I'll cover that. And tarot card reading, I still want my friends to comment, but the things that have been happening, I've been finding them out when I pull the cards, don't know who they are, and then bam, I get somebody reaching out with me with a question. They want me to do a reading. I'm not opposed to it, but it has been very interesting because these readings have been hitting close to home, and this has happened 3 times already. So I just keep getting shocked to shit, basically. So, and then this has been really exciting news, but I'll save that for last. But yes, my Crow Tarot deck that I religiously use, I know I use other cards, but Crow Tarot deck, I do want to talk about MJ Cullinan, or Cullinan. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but yeah, I just wanted to share those couple things. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I took a I've taken a few classes in the Houston area regarding tarot and other things that I'm interested in part of my craft and divination and rituals. So there is the Awakening Spirit Houston. It is owned by Grendel. She is a high priestess. She does not, I guess, mentor. She may or may not. I haven't asked her yet, but she is a high priestess in her craft, and she's a very, very powerful being, man. Like, her energy, her aura, and everything is just. I love me some of that stuff, man. It's so good. And so I took a tarot card class with her, and she had recommended this book, and I found it off of thriftbooks.com. This is actually out of Publish, and this is the 22 Steps to a Higher Path Tarot, okay? And this is written by D. Balotti Lawrence, and this book is a really great guide. It shows different readings that you could do. It goes in each card depth further and further. And I will tell you, the intro for this page has really gotten me to really thinking about a lot of things. It talks about the spiritual path, how the balances of what, things that we go through in life that are important and our priorities change, like the material, the health, the physical, and how can you put all that balance into that. And really, I think as human beings in general, and from what I have learned in the 12-step program, it has really heightened my awareness of things that do really matter, and for me to grow as a human being. And that's the best reward. If you've watched any of my tarot card readings, and I get on my soapbox about, like, it's not about the material, it's about the spiritual. I know we all got bills to pay at the end of the day, but again, reliance on something that's bigger than you and moving ego out of the way. Again, if you want to call it higher power, God, your deity, spirit, whoever, as long as it's bigger than you, it's almost kind of like a spell work ritual or anything like that you do. You have a problem, you give it over to them, you don't worry about it, and somehow you look back maybe a week or days or months or years later, and you're like, man, how did that work out? Well, again, some cosmic universe thing bigger than you figured that out and said, hey, this is the path, and I'm laying it out. So this has been incorporated in this book. I've only read a few pages last night. I did a tarot reading for a friend of mine, and there's a wealth of information in here to study. So if I can't make it to one of Grendel's classes, I will post her information below, but I highly recommend going. There's a lot of people that are going and learning and trying to build on what works for them and incorporating it into their daily life on a spiritual path, okay? Not religion, spiritual path. Okay, moving on from that one. Then, I know I have talked about this in one of the other books on the Witchy update. I am studying Afro-Brazilian culture, spiritism, magic. There's Garombe, there is, I said it right, I think. And there is also Umbanda. So I have been reading the book that I had recommended. It was called Searching for Africa in Brazil, and it's for the Carombe aspect. Again, it's from an anthropologist standpoint. It's a very hard read because there's so many dynamics of these groups and explaining the history and the African slaves behind it, the Western cultures when Catholicism was very big. So it gets a little, you really have to concentrate. One day I got frustrated this week, and I said, you know what, I don't have the brain capacity for that right now. And so I picked up Savara, and this is Afro-Brazilian Magic, and this is Carol J. Eldow. And I am going to write this lady if she is still living. This book was published, I believe, in '96. But to give you a little history about Carol, Carol holds a PhD in Portuguese and Brazilian studies. And it was the recipient of the Fulbright Dissertation Research Fellowship to Brazil. She has given lectures around the country on the Brazilian mystery religions. And Dr. Dow is also a practicing Wiccan and resides in Boulder, Colorado. So when I opened the page, I was just reading a little bit, and I was kind of like, oh, a witch, awesome. Again, I don't believe I'm going into the Wiccan path, but again, a lot of things just kind of form in together and blend, and things could be up for debate, and that's not what I'm trying to do, because we've got enough debate going on right now, okay? But there's no but. However, when I picked up this book and I read her intro about the author and reading the preface, she really paints the scenes. And so the first chapter that she called with the preface is called Salve todas as noches, as I might have to do this again. The first chapter, the preface, she talks about Salve todas as nações, which means hail to all the nations. And she paints the scenes about different groups or cults in different areas. And I mean, I really dived into the book, and I believed that I was there. And going into chapter 1, she goes and talks about what she's been observing in Rio de Janeiro. And she talks about the different folklores, how in the 1940s the government prohibited the sale of merchandise for rituals. Like, none of this was tolerated in that country. It was so socially divided. It still is, by the way. And a lot of the folk magic that was brought in from our ancestors, they did not want it practiced. And so the government was kind of kicking in and trying to put orders on these people, and we're like, no thank you. So now the sects have been legalized. People don't have to hide what they're selling anymore. It goes into talking about Eshu, which I have talked about, and there is also a male and female entity that look like devils. Again, I need to research all this stuff. That does not necessarily mean, that it's going to be devil worship or anything like that. But I truly understand these are oppressed people, and as I described Eshu is almost kind of like he is the magical and human. He is like the link for the direct contact in between the two. And with people being so suppressed, and as Americans, we are not going to understand in different countries unless you have come in here and what it was like before. You have to have respect for this, because there are so many oppressed people out in the world. The government taking over, the social dynamics, we are so lucky, period. You have to respect that. So this is so fascinating to me. She goes into talking about the related groups of religions that go by the names of Spiritism, Umbanda, Quimbanda, Macumba, Cantimbo, and Carombe. So those are just to name a few. So the list goes on and on. I identified with the Spiritism. I identified with the Umbanda, the Carombe. There's a lot of things in here, but unfortunately, because I am not in Brazil, and I don't believe that there are religion occultists here that would be able to teach me and initiate me to learn, because it's really like going new witch school. So, but I am still going to read this. It's fascinating with the overviews and the notes and the resources that she has. I have already circled down some of the deities, saints, gods, goddesses that is in the Brazilian culture. That my cousin Vanessa, who still lives in Brazil, that she prays to, that she does petitions for. So I am very excited to learn about them. There are rituals in here. There is such a wealth of information. It is almost like a book of shadows for this Brazilian dynamic, for Brazilian Afro magic. So, again, Miss Carol, I don't know if you are on YouTube, but Dr. Carol Dow, thank you for this. This book is way before my time. Even though I am an old soul, I am appreciating this. So thank you for spending the time on this, and my deepest gratitude, because again, for me, being from Brazilian background and wanting to discover where I come from and why it's so important to pass on and down to generations, this really helps a lot, especially for me. So thank you. Next topic. Talking about witchy names, because a couple of friends of mine, we talked about creating witchy names, or thinking, should we have one, should we not have one? Well, Belle Fleur Guinevere is my name, and it is a part of my witch name. You guys can call me Gwen. To tell you a little bit about where Belle Fleur Guinevere comes from, Belle Fleur is, I guess, French descent. I am, I guess, about 2% French from my background. But in Texas, we are pretty close to Louisiana. And Brazil, there's a lot of French culture as well. So I would like to say in a nice bubble nutshell, that this is parlez-vous français, kind of thing. And it's not to make fun of the French people. But yeah, I picked Belle Fleur because my favorite band for the last several years has been Lord Huron. Lord Huron has various albums out. They've been out for a while. I know they got popular when 13 Reasons Why came out. I liked them before that. And quite honestly, The Night We Met is not really like my favorite song. I do enjoy it, but it's not my favorite song. There's so many songs that they have that I just love. And their latest album, Vida Noir, it's been out for at least maybe a good year and a half. They're like folk singing, rock, smooth listening, like it's just the dynamics goes on, and I am so in love with the lead singer. He is married, I'm married, but hey, if no, we ain't doing that. Just kidding, all joking aside, but he is really fine as hell, I'm sorry to say. And so yeah, if Harvest Moon, give me a call. Anyway, the guys on the band are so cute, but anyway, I am a married woman, happily married, been talking about that, and then I know it's not going to happen. So they have a song, and it was kind of hard to pick because I, quite honestly, I'm one of those people that listens to it on repeat like almost every single day. I'm telling you, I don't get tired of it. I don't get tired of listening to the Strange Trails album. Two of my favorite songs is Cursed, which it talks about a witchy woman. You can look at it in two different lights, being like, kind of like a compliment, or being like, oh my god, this is like describing a really bad witch. But you know what? It puts me in a witchy mood. It just lights a fire under my butt, excuse me. And yeah, it just puts me in some sort of trance, okay? So I couldn't put like Cursed, I mean, I'm not that dark type of witch, but I could be though, even though I'm all love and light, but yes, love and light to you until you piss me off, and then we're gonna see about love and light. How about that? And yeah, so anyway, but there is a song called La Belle Fleur Sauvage, and so that is basically the beautiful wild flower. And so I did not add sauvage to the name, but La Belle Fleur, be a beautiful flower, that's what it means. Guinevere, I have to look this up, excuse me. My real name, get ready for friends people who do not know me, but people who know me know my real name as Jennifer. Jennifer is, I don't go by the full name. I go by Jen, so Jen, Gwen. I love nicknames. Typically, if I get called by the full name, I feel like I'm in trouble. Guinevere I picked as my witch name because Guinevere is kind of like a off-route or adaptation from Guinevere for the names, if you look up names. So I picked Guinevere because I still like my birth given name, because my name has a lot of meaning to me. The song La Belle Fleur Sauvage has a lot of meaning to me as well, and I feel like, I don't know, the music, it just kind of put me in a trance, and it just kind of put me in a spot of where I was today, where it's followed me since then, even in my addiction to recovery to now. Like, that track has helped me so much, and it's put me in such a really great mood. So if you are not a Lord Herdon fan, shame on you. You should be. But seriously, you can thank me later, and when you find them, like, be like, oh my god, where have these people been? People, I'm telling you, they've been signed off for like Jeep and any of these car commercials they have to the ends of the earth. Like, they are popping, okay? They are popping. And when you find them, you let me know and you tell me, wow, thank you so much. You are so welcome. I did you a favor. How about that? How about that? I love flowers. I was going to try Guinevere Rose, but somebody already took that. But I like my name better. Origin for Guinevere is Welsh. And I find that hilarious because I am a part Wales. It's all England, you know. Meaning talks about white ghost, phantom. I just looked this up on babynames.com. Doesn't really necessarily mean. Again, I just researched this stuff. You can look it on Google. This probably is not correct. I'm not saying that it is, because the internet has a wealth of information, but sometimes it's just not right. The meaning and history from the Norman French form of the Welsh name Guinevere, meaning white phantom. Ultimately, the old Celtic roots. Windows means fair, white, and blessed. Modern Welsh Gwen. And Cerberus, meaning phantom, magical being. In Arthurian, meaning the time of Arthur, legend, she was the beautiful wife of King Arthur, according to the 12th century chronicler Geoffrey of Monmouth. Monmouth. She was seduced by Modred before the Battle of Camlan, which led to the deaths of both Modred and Arthur. And according to the 12th century French poet Chrétien de Troyes, she engaged in the adulterous affair with Sir Lancelot. Okay, this is interesting. Jennifer derives from in Cornish form, and has become popular in the English-speaking world. So yes, my name is Jennifer. Hi. Which name is Gwen? So this brings me on to the next topic about names. So you don't necessarily need to have a witch name, but if you want one, I believe you may. I'm sure that there are tests you can take and pick one that you like. But again, I think it has more meaning, in my personal standpoint, that it's meanings for you. There's many ways you can come into some sort of spiritual name if you want to go by that. But the Belle Fleur Guinevere has meaning to me because my actual birth name has a lot of meaning to me. So that's why I incorporated the two. So there has been debate on this, and it's brought up, and it has, I mean, it's great and an interesting topic, but I would like to hear from you and anybody in the witch community about sharing your witch name, how that it is not a thing to do, because other practicing witches who are probably into hexing or, doing all these things, they get your witch name and they'll do something with you because it's something that's very personal to you. Again, I am very protected, and I'm going to tell you this. A witch's scorn is going to burn, so any of you witches trying to do any ill intent, I am all love and light, but I am not afraid to light some fires. Do you hear me? No, I will not harm you unless you were trying to do any ill will to me, my family, or anybody. I will, okay? So I try not to do it. I ask my spirit guides. I get close, and I have to ask my spirit guides, hey, is this what I'm supposed to do? They're like, no. So I listen. I'm very obedient. So sometimes you just got to let karma take its course. And if you'd like to get a witch name, again, it's up to you. There's quizzes you can take online, or just make someone that really resonates with you. Because again, the Belle Fleur Guinevere resonates with me, and it's very special, and it is out in the world, but that is okay. So anyway, I looked at a video between, y'all know I do follow the Witch of Wonderlust, Olivia. She was on a video that was sponsored on another YouTuber. She goes by the name Nike. I'm gonna pull her up for you guys really quick. Warrior Witch Nike. I love that name, by the way. She was on the latest video that she has. I'm gonna pause this real quick. The latest video she has, and I'll put it on a link at the end of this video, she was talking with Temperance, who is also on YouTube, Georgina, and Olivia. And the topic for hot takes was toxic teachers, mentors, and more. And I really recommend this video for any beginner witchers, baby witches. Again, I feel you. I do. But they were talking about when things happen, when you're starting to get into this part, that people like to take advantage of us when we're young. And again, even though I'm 34, I've been around, again, I can still be naive because, again, I really want to see things from a different perspective. I feel like I have been reborn again in many ways. But again, I listen to my intuition most of the time. Sometimes it's not right, and that's how those thirsty men have been popping up when I accept on friend requests. So I do have to listen to my intuition. If something doesn't feel right to you, speak up, man. Like, be honest. And you don't have to take crap from nobody, okay? So you do what you feel is best for you and is not going to, bypass on your moral code, okay? Hug a heifer. There was a lot of interesting topics that they went through, and one of them I found so funny was when Nike was talking about, the witches that are all love and light, and I'm like, ooh, okay. And again, I'm new at this, the dialogue, I'm still saying the yeah, hey, y'all, all that. And yes, you probably don't want to look at my face for 30 minutes or whatever, and I'm already going past 29:41 before I edit. But you know what? It's just me being me. It's a blog. If you like it, great. If not, that's okay too. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm just being me. And I'm just learning, and I'm sure I'll get better. But the love and light, I laughed, but my heart sank a little bit because I was like, oh, I am love and light, but, I don't take no stuff neither, but again, I am pretty much all love and light. I just want us all to get along, there be peace, but, I get it. They can't have peace right now. And I can't be a person that is serenity all the time because I am human. I wish I was a magical being that could just levitate and have things shoot out of my fingers and, in a snap, fires get started or something. But that's just not how it is. I am a human being at the end of the day. I may have some abilities, but they are not super natural. Does that make sense? So I really find it an interesting topic. I really wish this video would get a lot more views. I'm pretty sure Olivia's followers will find it. But yes, Warrior Witch, love you, girl. Temperance, took a video with you and Olivia about money magic. Love your attitude, girl. Keep on going. And Temperance actually had a video out about books that she recommends for beginner witches as well. So I'll put the link for that down below. Again, none of this is sponsored. I just want to share it with us as we are on this journey together. And if it's helpful, then please comment if it does help you. And when I get around to it, I will get those books and whatever. So again, I'm just finding things that resonate with me at the moment, which to make it easier because my brain is in 10 different directions half the time. So anyway, the tarot card readings. Again, I think this is something that I'm going to be doing weekly. I was going to try to do a monthly one, but I think that's just a little too much. So I think I am just going to do it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. So I have done these readings, posted them out as best as I can, either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And 3 times I have gotten feedbacks from people, and they have been close to home. One has been my niece. She is 15 years old. One of them has been my close friend that we've been friends for maybe about 8-9 years, maybe since my husband and I have been married. We met before we were married. And what else? Oh, and then a friend of mine that is in a 12-step program with me that I met online, he lives in Montana, wanted a reading. I have pulled these cards, pre-selected them, write my notes, and I do the video and I edit. Again, keeping the pieces together, and not really trying to edit too much to take away from the content, because again, I want it to be where it's a face-to-face, just like if you were going to see a reader, okay? And build that intimacy with each other. Ooh, intimacy. Aside, I still get so excited and shocked, and I guess this is like the baby witch feels, excited that every time my spirit guides are communicating through the cards, I keep telling myself, and I keep telling y'all, these cards do not lie. But I pull the cards, ask them what spirit guides they want to communicate with and what needs to be known for next week. Then I find all these things out as soon as the video comes out, and it's like, hey, this happened, and I'm like, oh, okay, like I get excited, I get shocked, I'm still feeling those feels, but I'm sure that as time goes on, I'll be like, yeah, I know, like, I know it's you, so, an update on that. I really only think I'll be doing weekly tarot cards versus the monthly. That might change later on. So from there, yeah. And last but not least, I do have to share this. So yes, I am on Instagram, and I do use my Crow tarot card deck for my readings because I love it. It is my second deck that I've ever purchased. Then the Rider-Waite original. I find decks that really speak to me. My first tarot deck was The Influence of the Angels. That's a whole different artist and author altogether. And then my Crow Tarot deck was my second one, because I jump off into Oracle cards because I know they're all different, and all the energies and what they speak is all different, and they all work differently. So I use my Crow Tarot deck from MJ Cullinane, or I'm just going to call her MJ. I mean, MJ, hey, how's it going, girl? MJ. MJ is the artist and author. Yeah. And MJ is Seattle based, and she is a mother and a lover of all things magical, and especially crows. And I don't even know this woman, but she's so freaking cool. So I've been posting the pick a card readings on YouTube, and also when I try to do like a card of the day pull, I'm getting slacking on that. I'm calling myself out for that, okay? The card of the day pulls from the Crow Tarot deck, and they're always spot on. I use it for shadow work for myself, and I use it for other readings for other people, and they're always so spot on. She is working on other tarot decks. I believe when I was looking on her feed of Instagram, she is working on a couple, and I can already feel the energy of the art on her cards already, and I want them, but I had no idea she was on Indiegogo, and she is getting, it's like a startup for a business kind of thing, and she is raising money to get these things in print because she's only making a handful. But I would love to get my hands on those cards, and I want to be friends with MJ. I told her how powerful those cards are, and yeah, MJ, if you want to be friends, that's cool, honey. If not, totally get it. But I love your artwork. Keep doing what you do. I love your cards. They speak volumes to me. My spirit guides, I guess they love them. My spirit team. But yes, I would like to chat, and she did not have to do this, but she liked one of my posts for the card I posted from the Crow Tarot deck. Jay, thank you so much for liking my photo on Instagram. You didn't have to do that, but that really speaks a lot to me. I hope we can connect. I am going to try to find a way to get those new cards when they come out, even though I'm like a day late and $1 short. But yes. So anyways, everyone, my Belle Fleurs this is wrapping up the video for the Witchy update this week. If you liked the video, again, just a friendly reminder, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. So until next time, my Belle Fleurs, I will go ahead and post the tarot card reading, hopefully on Saturday. And until then, peace, love, and light to you, and I will see you next time. I love you. Mwah. Bye.